is October-November 2019 session. Paper 21 starts now. So this is all about main food. So that's the name of the business. So what we're trying to do here is to read per paragraph, and afterwards we try to analyze each paragraph. Okay, so here it goes. So, Main Foods MF is a public limited company. It was set up 30 years ago in Country X and produces a large variety of food products. The objectives of MF are to increase profits and increase market share. Most of MF's competitors are small partnership businesses. MF is the largest food producer in Country X. So in the first paragraph, you can really identify the backstory of main foods, and we know now that it's a public limited company. We and if it is a public limited company, we think about shareholders. Okay, it was set up 30 years ago, which means that there has been growth in this company, and this business is all about producing um, different food products. And of course, as any company's objective, MF's objectives are to increase profits and to increase the market share. Although, like they are in their, you know, they have been in the industry for 30 years, they still want to dominate the market. Another is the competitors, the type of competitors that MFs do have, and they are small partnership businesses. So just imagine partnership businesses versus the public limited company. And MF is the largest food producer in country X. So in the first paragraph, we can really identify how the impact, okay, of main food because of this background. Second paragraph is the operations director is planning to produce a new ice cream that does not contain sugar. So, in the first sentence, you can identify that it's all about the um, marketing mix. At the same time, we will still, learn about what else is included. Production of the new product will require a new automated production line. So it means that new product means new production type of production, and of course new ways for you to make the product. It will require new equipment to be purchased. So purchasing of a capital is a must, which means that if you purchase a capital, there will be costs. Additional skilled workers will need to be recruited by the Human Resources Department, and existing workers will need to be retrained. Yeah, as I've told you, like if you will make a new product in your existing business, expect that there will be cost. Cost when it comes with the labor, cost when it cost comes with the um when it comes with capital, cost when it comes with land. So, in short, like there will be costs in all factors of production. To manufacture ice cream that does not contain sugar, MF will have to use ingredients that are extracted from plants in the rainforest in the country X. So, it talks about the land. This will cause environmental damage when the plants are cut down. So it means that it's because operation director's objective is to produce a new brand of new set or new product of ice cream. Of course, it will affect the other stakeholders. MF's operations director is worried about the high cost of this raw material and the cost of removing all the waste from the production of this new ice cream. So it means that the effect of the production is environmental problem, and the cheapest way to get rid of the waste is to take it to the local landfill sites, which are nearly full. So remember the economies of scale. Once the business grows, the cost decreases. But in this case, the operation director thinks that in order for them to reduce the cost, okay, they have to use local landfill sites, which of course has a connection with the approval coming from the government. The government is responsible for the cost of managing landfill sites. Farmers lose their land when new landfill sites are created. So, when it comes to the second and the third paragraph, it only shows the effects of the different objectives towards uh, different stakeholders, and it community has a different um, objectives. Same goes with the operations director. Same goes with the labor. Same goes with, of course, the shareholders. Let's continue reading and analyzing the case study of October 2019, session paper 21. The new ice cream will be targeted at people who want to lose weight or who, for medical reasons, are not allowed to eat products that contain a lot of sugar. Statistics show that 10% of the adult population should not be eating sugary foods, and a further 40% are thought to be overweight. So, in this part, we talk about like marketing research. Uh, the a MF as a business, as a huge business, is tapping now a niche market because this type of ice cream is not for the masses, but only like for those people who want to lose weight, okay, or for those for those people who do have medical problems or whatsoever. But then again, it talks about niche market here, and there is an obvious um, marketing research in it. So Country X has several new TV programs aimed at people who are health conscious, and new gyms are being set up. Several other food businesses in Country X are planning the introduction of new food products that are low in sugar, but they are not yet ready to launch them. MF and its competitors sell food products through wholesalers and to large supermarkets. So it means that Country X is trying their best to make their community really health conscious. But then again, of course, there are only few businesses which produce uh, health conscious products, and of course, MF and the other competitors want to launch some products which are really good for health. But then again, if you're going to look at the last sentence, MF and its competitors sell food products through wholesalers and to large supermarkets. It only means that their products are really for the masses, for the mass market, and producing a new type of ice cream will prioritize the niche market. So again, like this part talks about marketing, niche market, mass market, and of course, the idea of the market research. Okay, Appendix 1 is about the summary of MF's financial statements for 2018 and 2019. So it clearly shows that the revenue changes, it increases. What else? Same goes with the gross profit margin. The return of capital employed is the same, but take note of the current ratio and asset debt ratio. Remember that in order for you to get current ratio and asset test ratio, it's always like assets divided by liabilities. Another is the bank loan. There's a bank loan, which means that there is a long-term liability, okay, from 2018 and 2019, from 10 to 20 million. Appendix number 2 talks about the situation of country X. So in the daily news article, it says that country X is experiencing increasing numbers of overweight people, and this is causing serious health problems. Food products which contain a lot of sugar are being blamed for this crisis. Treating people who are overweight increases cost to public sector organizations such as healthcare services. Businesses in Country X also complain that when employees are ill, they do not work efficiently or they need time off work to get better. It clearly shows that the consumers of Country X really likes the wants than the needs. Another is, of course, government is kind of blaming the food products because it contains a lot of sugar. And remember that MF is also one of the producers of those food products. Another, of course, there's an effect on the public sector organizations because they public sector organizations like healthcare services need cost, okay, need capital for them to give awareness to the citizens. Another, of course, being overweight. If the labor sector or the workers are overweight, then there's a huge effect when it comes with the production and the productivity when it comes with businesses. So there are like long-term effects because you are unhealthy. Appendix number 3 is all about charts. So if you see some charts like this, do not be afraid because all you need to do is to use it as an evidence for your answers. Okay, so in this chart you have this break-even chart to show the effect of charging a higher price of 7.5 per carton. So it's really clear what are the effects when it comes with the fixed cost, total cost, and the total revenue if it is 7.5 price or $5. And then of course the break even chart, the second break even chart is showing you the effect of reducing the cost. Okay, so what's gonna happen if this one is a fixed cost and total cost, even the total revenue and the total cost when the variable cost is at 2.5. So it only shows what's gonna be the decision if you're going to choose whether you increase the price or you're going to lower the variable cost. Okay, what are the questions on November 2019 session paper 21? So we're gonna start again by having this first question: identify and explain one benefit and one cost to MF of developing a new product. Most likely, if you develop a new product, you can get your USP, your unique selling point, because it's one of a kind. Okay, and the product of this business is way different from others. Okay, no other sugar-free ice creams on the market. Another is it allows diversification since it's not only tapping the niche market but also the mass market. And in this case, it will allow having new products. A new product will allow the business to expand into new markets. Yeah, as I've told you, to accommodate the needs, the customers' needs. Another is, of course, the effect will be the increase of the market share, and in the end, there will be increase of the sales. On the other hand, when it comes with the cost, developing a new product, of course, when we use the market research, of course, we have to use the market research and you have to carry out lots of product trials. There will be the increase of the cost. Uh, Another is, of course, adding new equipments, adding new training for the labor, and of course, the high cost of the raw materials, and and how and even the production process. So it means like that's gonna be the cost only. Okay, the downside of developing a new product is there will be a cost, and of course, if the target market is wrong, then the company's reputation may change. Now, the next here is an indicative response for this question. So you can have like the cause and effect of it, and then like provides a USB if there are no other sugar-free ice creams in the market. So you will get like at least 2 points on that sentence. This will allow MF to increase sales revenue of an ice cream since it's new in the market. It will take an advantage of the new trends of healthier foods because there are less businesses who which use the trend of having healthy foods. Another is you can also have possible marks if you're going to use some concepts of market share, the objectives of the company. Another is the automated production as part of the downside of having a new product. Aside from that, just tap in the factors of production when it comes with the costs, and of course, um, make sure that you have to use the text itself, the case study, so that you can get evidences. Second item is consider how the following three elements of the marketing mix could help to make the new product successful. Which do you think is the most important element for the success of the new product? Justify your answer. Always remember that in every case study in paper number 21, there is the most important marketing mix element. So in this case, check the product. The product is all about the ice cream, okay, and it's a dessert, and check also the details of that case study so that you can identify which marketing mix element is the most important element for the success of that kind of product. Okay, so here there are some points that you can include. For example, when it comes to the price, you have to include the types of pricing, whether it's a penetration pricing or the cost plus pricing. Of course, there's the existence of the market for the desserts. So checking out the prices of other competitors would identify what would be the best price. That's penetration pricing. Cost plus pricing is based on how um, or the amount, okay, of of cost that you have got during the development of your product. Another is the place. You can include, of course, the term distribution. Are you going to distribute it through the wholesalers, large supermarkets, so that the new product could reach in the mass market? Remember, this type of product before, okay, not but in reality it's a niche market, and then you have to turn it into a mass market. Another is the manner of the distribution. Are you going to put it into health food outlets or gyms just to reach the consciousness of being healthy? Okay. um, Another, when it comes with the promotion, what kind of advertisement are you going to use? Are you going to use magazines for health conscious consumers? Are you going to use social media, TV advertising? Because TV advertisings, um, target is really the mass market, or of course free samples in different supermarkets. You can also include that so that the potential consumers you I mean so that um, you can identify also the potential consumers in your new dessert. So again, when it comes with this kind of question, you need to use some terms of the marketing mix. And in the next slide, you would see the sample answer, which of course talks about the place, because in this the answer in the marketing schemes, place is the most important element, because there are wholesalers and supermarkets, and they can sell a lot of products to it. And these outlets are where the most customers will buy desserts, and so it will increase the chance of the new ice cream being on the shelves and then purchased. So in this type of question, the answer in the marketing schemes is the place, because um, the, the business itself has already established, has already connections to the wholesalers and the supermarkets, so it's easier for them to introduce the new ice cream to the market through its place. Next is all about a question about stakeholder groups. So identify and explain how the following two stakeholder groups of MF will be affected by the production of this new product. So always remember that every time that a company or a business has a new product, um, all the stakeholder groups are being affected, especially when it comes with the employees and the customers. So in the question, employees and customers are being given, and when 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 it comes to the employees, the effect of that production of new product would be the increase of the production. And since there's an increase of production and the usage of the new production methods will be used, workers may need to acquire other skills and training. And since there will be further training to get the skills of using the new equipment, then there will be cost. But then again, it feels motivated for the employees to get more training. Okay, there will be motivation and eventually job satisfaction, because they will get higher wages because of the increase of the production. Remember, increase of revenue, most likely increase of profits, and everybody's enjoying the increase of the profits. On the other hand, when it comes to the customers, they will be affected because there will be variety of products, and um, there will be more choices on the products itself. But then again, remember that customers will have to pay a higher price if they want a new ice cream, because the ice cream is for health conscious people. And remember that the ingredients of that new brand, okay, is it's kind of expensive. Another is, of course, it will be affect customers will be affected because they meet, okay, there's a better meeting of the needs of of the customers, so there will be loyalty to the company. So there are actually like advantages or good points when it comes with um customers being affected, because there will be variety, okay, and the company or the business has met the needs of the customers who are health conscious. But on the other hand, of course, some customers may not find the product really okay because of its effect on the environment. But overall, you have to weigh it down. Considering how each of the following might use MF's financial statements as shown in Appendix 1, which user would find the information most helpful? Justify your answer. So, in this kind of question, you need to use the data from Appendix 1. Okay, so from Appendix 1, you know that it's all about the revenue, the profit margin, the return of capital employed. Even in Appendix 1, you know also the current ratio, acid test ratio, and even the bank loans, the situation of the bank loans of the company. So from there, of course, you can figure out what's going to be your answer. So for the government, the financial statements of MF is very useful because the government can see, okay, they, those financial statements help the government to calculate the tax. So please include the word tax in your answer. Another government also can give support if the business is failing by giving grants or subsidies. When it comes to the bank, the financial statements of MF is really useful, really helpful to um, to improve the liquidity, okay, the flow of money of the business. Um, and as you can see there, okay, in the appendix, there is the improvement of the liquidity. Um, you can see it through the revenue. Another is the financial statement can help establish um, if MF can repay the loans. And as you can see in those two data from each year, they have the ability to pay the loan, bank loan. Another, when it comes to the shareholders, uh, the financial statements of MF is really useful since the company is public limited and they can see whether the dividends are likely to be paid. And of course, it also shows if there's the increase of the profitability because they have this idea, shareholders idea, that if there's the increase of profits, then of course it leads to the increase of dividends. So as you can see here, the answer in the marking schemes um, is all about the bank. Yeah, which user will find the information most helpful? Of course, the bank. Okay, that's the really obvious answer because, of course, the bank might want to see if MF is making a profit to see if it can repay any loans. Otherwise, the bank may not have the loan repaid. And this would cause problems for the bank as it would risk losing its money. Also, MF might need an overdraft, and the bank could also see that the overdraft is likely to be repaid after seeing that the liquidity of the business is good. So always remember um, the financial statements of all businesses around the world. Okay, um, is very useful for the bank. Okay, because of the loan. So we have to make sure, like any businesses, must make sure that the liquidity is okay, there is profit, there's the increase of the revenue is really higher every year, so that the bank can identify that they know that the company or the business can repay any loans. Next is identify and explain how the following four departments of MF are likely to be affected by the development of its new product. Again, every time that there's a development of a new product, always remember that marketing department, the human resource department, operations, and finance are always being affected. Okay, for example, like department, it's because they have to increase their workload of carrying out market research. Okay, it's all about their responsibilities, and marketing department is um, more into promotion also of the new product. Okay, remember the 4 P's. Okay, when it comes to the human resource department, they have to recruit additional workers, and they have to make sure that they require them to be trained because they will be using different equipments. Another is operations department because of course they will be using new automated equipment in producing the new ice cream. And last but not least, of course, the finance because they need to raise funds, okay, bank loan, and which is really necessary for the investment of the new equipment, and of course the working capital for the purchases of the new ingredients. They have to produce also financial statements so that the different uh, you know there will be they can get bank loans. So question here is um, yeah, you have to make sure that you have to include all the responsibilities, most of the responsibilities of the 4 departments. What else? And whatever's your answer, all you need to do is just to use the the text itself, the case study. Make sure that you include some keywords so that you can get marks. Next item involves the usage of Appendix 3. Because using the information provided in Appendix 3, consider the following 2 options for MF's new product. Recommend which option, again, you have the word recommend, which option would MF should choose to ensure the highest profit for the new product. Justify your answer. So in this question, there are 2 options. First option is to raise the price from $5 to 7.5, and then the second option is to lower the variable cost, the raw materials, um, falling from 2.5 to $2. So in this type of question, all you need to do is to use the data itself. Okay, um, after using the data, then explain it. Example, in option number 1, higher price will give the impression of higher quality product and it may increase profit. Okay, um, of course, if the sales will fall, then there will be the revenue will be also might not increase. Another is option number 2. If you lower the variable cost, uh, people think, again, consumers think that there will be a lower quality, and what's gonna happen when it comes with that having a lower quality product? Um, they have to find cheaper or raw materials, and also the dilemma of the waste disposal must be also included in your option number 2. What else? You have all you need to do is just to use the data itself from appendix number 3, and then afterwards explain it, what will be the short-term and long-term effects of it. Next item is identify and explain 2 differences between MF and unincorporated businesses. Remember that MF is a public limited company, and the competitors of MF are mostly partnership companies. So this one, make sure that you have to include the term limited liability, okay? Whereas the unincorporated businesses has a, an incorporated business has unlimited liability. Remember, this limited liability protects the shareholders of MF. You can also include um, the continuity of the business, and MF can able to sell shares because it's a limited company, and of course, um, take consideration that there's a separation of the legal identities. So again, it's just the definition of the terms unincorporated and incorporated businesses. Identify and explain two differences between MF and public sector organizations. Remember that i- public limited company is way different with public sector organizations. Okay, um, MF has a profit, and there's the increase of the market share. Okay, and those are the objectives of MF. While public sector organizations' objectives are more into public service. Okay, public provision of a service. So it means that um, they have different objectives. Okay, because MF is a private sector aiming for profits, while the public sector organization's aim is to provide service to the people. That's why they have different pricing strategies, and of course you have to take note that MF is not owned by the government. And the last question for October November 2019, paper 21, is about recommendation. Okay, so consider the possible external costs and external benefits resulting from MF's new product. Recommend whether the government should encourage MF to produce this new product, and then justify your answer. So this question involves whether um, the government should encourage the MF to produce the new product, because remember that it really affects the environment. So when it comes to the external cost, take note, you have to include the waste, okay, in the landfill, because it will cause pollution, and farmers lose their land, and from there, tap the effects of losing the land, reduce locally produced food, and in the future increase spending on buying the food. Another is external cost, is the expenses to the government when it comes with cleaning up the waste. And if there will be higher costs, it will lead to the raising of the taxes, okay, and or reducing some other government projects. Another, of course, environmental damage if the rainforest is cut down. So those are usual costs if there will be um, production, a new production that will affect the environment. But when it comes with the benefits, of course, um, there will be healthier population because employees have less time off work, which leads to efficient productivity and increase of the output in the whole economy. Another is, of course, if the government spending on health provision falls, then they can spend the money elsewhere. And of course, the reduction of unemployment in the local area will be the benefit, since MF will hire some locals, new workers. Special thanks to all the people who made and released these awesome resources. Slides Carnival, thank you for the presentation template. Unsplash for the photographs. Slides Carnival free templates for all your presentation needs. Sounds by Bensounds. I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that uh, this video has been very helpful for all of you. So thank you, take care, happy studying. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel. So I'll see you next time.